Nearly a month ago, Campfire Audio launched a couple of mid-range IMs, the Mammoth and Holocene. Holocene is a all-B IM, while the Mammoth is a replacement for their uh, Polaris. Polaris was slightly less expensive, maybe at 500. This is 549, $550. It has two BA drivers, two custom BA driver, and one biocellulose diaphragm that is used with the Honeydew 2. So this is the replacement for the Polaris, which is nearly 2 years old, and very similar packaging too. There isn't a lot of difference, but I like this packaging. This is more eco-friendly, and yes, it has all the things in a very small package. But this thing is kind of annoying because every time you open it, it loses the glue and gets worse. But that's okay. That's reasonable. I cannot complain about it, since they are trying to make it more eco-friendly. What can we expect here? Nevertheless, let's move on to the IEMs. Yeah. So the Mammoth is exactly same in size with the rest of the IEMs, all of the IEMs to be precise, all of the metal based IEMs, metal housing, exactly same design, Holocene, ARA, and everything of this type of ergonomics has the exactly same kind of design and size. So they are not spending much in R&D and stuff. They are just using their old design and everything. The sprout is different. This is this has been given a gunmetal kind of feel to it. It looks premium, if not anything else. The metal housing is very durable, but yeah, this edges, if you have small ears, might feel slightly, might bother you slightly. Nevertheless, this is a very comfortable IM. Size is not big at all compared to other IMs in this price range. This is not a very bassy IM, but yes, the sound signature is V-shaped. It has good amount of bass. I can never say that this is not a bassy IM, but is not a bass head level bassy IM like the Honeydew. Honeydew was a bass head level bassy IM. It had all the bass you can swallow. The sub bass was just something else. Now here, this one slightly lacks the sub bass, even though they use the same driver. This slightly feels like it could have had slightly better extension in the sub bass region, and the rumble does not have that kind of feel to it. It's not that rumbly. It is faster. It is faster. It has faster decay and thing. The mid bass is good too. I like the mid bass. Mid bass has slightly more volume than the sub bass and is more fuller. It gives the required amount of body and weight to the notes and is good. It's fairly good, better than the competition. I'll bring out the EST112 soon. Now moving on to the mid range, I'll have to say that yeah, this is where the Mammoth is slightly lagging compared to its competitors. This is not a very good IM when it comes to mid-range. The mid-range notes feel slightly hollow. I'll put it bluntly, it is not a very good or very accurate or precise IM when it comes to the mid-range. Instruments are good. There is no problem with instruments, but the vocal region could have been slightly better. It could have been more accurate. There is a bit of hollowness to the notes. If the notes is like this, there isn't enough substance in the notes body. The inside of the note is on the hollow side. It kind of feels odd, but it's okay. If you are listening to this IM, you are not listening to anything else like the Holocene or the EST112. This feels okay, reasonable. There isn't a lot wrong with it. It's better than the Kinera known. It's better than the Kinera Sculled and everything. The notes have very good height and stuff. The micro details is very good too compared to this Kinera IMs. But I cannot say this is the best. Obviously, this is not the best, no doubt about that. Now, moving on to the treble region, I'll have to say that treble is very good too. There is no problem with that. Treble is very good, just like the details and extension, everything is excellent. There is no problem with that. The tingliness is there. There is good amount of space and air. There is nice bit of separation and layering, and I like the balance of things. It is not sharp or anything. It does not try to bring extra bit of details while being thin or less musical or anything, but it's not in the same league as the EST112. Now the EST112 is not a bassy IM, not a very bassy IM. This one has more bass. This one has more bass than the EST112. EST112 feels slightly more balanced when compared to the Mammoth. Mammoth is bassier. It has less bass, less mid bass body and everything. It is slightly tighter. The decay is faster, but the mid range is somewhere the EST112 nearly obliterates the Mammoth. I think I pronounced it rightly, but nevertheless, you guys know what I'm trying to say. It just simply is much better. There isn't any hollowness. It is more full bodied, and the notes have more natural feel to them. The notes are slightly warmer too and feel very good, very satisfying. When I switched from this to this, the mid-range of the EST112 is more satisfying. There is no doubts about that. I have clearly no doubt that this is a more mature tuning when compared to the Mammoth. Now moving on to the treble region, the treble region is very similar. There isn't any problem with the treble region either, but it's slightly smoother when compared to the Mammoth. Mammoth is slightly more sparkly, slightly more contrasty, while this is a bit more musical. This is slightly more contrasty in the treble region. Tries to bring out a bit more details by being slightly more sparkly, slightly tingly. When it comes to details extraction, both are very good, no problem with that. When it comes to stage, the Mammoth is taller. It has good Z-axis feel, but the X-axis is slightly lacking, while this one is slightly lacking with the height Y-axis, but is more rounded. It has better X-axis width, and it's good. It's very good, no problem with that. The stage is more rounded and feels more satisfying when I pay attention to the roundness of the stage. When compared to the Mammoth, this is slightly more satisfying and more involving. Overall, if you have a EST112, you really do not need to look for anything nearly around $700-800 even. Nothing really makes any sense anymore. This is just simply excellent, very good, very good. The EST112, I'll suggest the EST112 over the Mammoth, no problem with that. If you want bass, you can definitely go for the Mammoth, but if you do not want the bass, if you want a bit more balanced sound, the EST112 is just simply outstanding. It's a very excellent IM. If you can handle a bit of V-shaped sound, slightly V-shaped. This is a bit more V-shaped. This is slightly less V-shaped, but nevertheless it is V-shaped. No problem with that. And the choice of termination. Just look at this. This one comes with all these terminations: 3.5, 4.4, 2.5, and stuff. But this one does not. So overall package and sound of the DUNU IM is superior to the Mammoth. Mammoth is good, no problem with that. Mammoth is very good. If you want a bassier sound, good quality of details and stuff, you do not want to, I do not suggest any Kinera IM to be precise, but these two are totally totally in a different league and very good. This is slightly, I'll give it, overall, I'll have to say I'll give it 8.5 maybe. Nothing wrong with it. Everything is very good with it, but this is nearly nearly perfection for me. Very good. If the mid range was not in the V, even so slightly, there's slightly in the V. If that was not there, I would have given it the perfect marks, nearly 9.5, 9.6. But this is 9.2 as of now, is very good. If the size and shape is not a problem, go for the EST112. It's a excellent IM. That's it. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Enjoy.